I adjusted my simple black blazer, consciously aware of its off-the-rack status among the sea of designer labels at La Maison d'Or. My sister Amanda's voice carried across the marble-floored lobby, deliberately loud enough for everyone to hear. "Oh my God, Sarah, what are you doing here? This isn't exactly your scene." I, Sarah Mitchell, age 32, stood my ground as Amanda and her three friends circled me like designer-clad sharks. Their Chanel bags and Louboutin heels probably cost more than what they thought I made in a month. "I have a dinner meeting," I replied simply. Amanda's perfectly composed face twisted into a smirk. "A dinner meeting? Here? The appetizers alone cost more than your entire outfit." Her friends tooted on cue. Jessica Wellington, daughter of a real estate mogul, touched Amanda's arm with manicured fingers. "Maybe she doesn't know the prices. We should help her find somewhere more appropriate." "Like McDonald's," whispered Brittany Cohen, loud enough for nearby diners to hear. I checked my watch, a simple Timex that concealed the fact I owned controlling shares in 3 Swiss luxury watchmakers. "My guests will be here soon." "Guests?" Amanda laughed. "Sarah, stop embarrassing yourself. This place has a 3-month waiting list. You can't just walk in and—" "Madam CEO." The owner himself, Michael Laurent, came rushing across the lobby. His sophisticated French accent carried clearly as he approached with open arms. "Your usual private room is ready. I have personally selected the 82 Bordeaux you prefer." And the board members called. "They're running 5 minutes late." The silence that followed was worth every second of the 10 years I'd spent building my empire in secret. Amanda's champagne glass froze halfway to her lips. Jessica's jaw dropped. Brittany stopped mid-selfie. What?" Amanda stammered. Michael turned to her, his smile cooling several degrees. "Ah, you must be the younger sister Madame Mitchell mentioned. The one who works as an influencer, yes." The way he said influencer made it sound like a particularly unfortunate medical condition. "How do you know my sister?" Amanda demanded. Michael's eyebrows rose. "Know her? Madame Mitchell owns 60% of La Maison d'Or International, all 47 locations worldwide." He turned back to me. "The expansion contracts for Dubai are ready for your review, Madame." I could practically hear Amanda's expensive dental work grinding. "That's impossible," she hissed. "Sarah works in. She trailed off, realizing she had no idea what I actually did. For the past decade, she'd assumed I had some minor corporate job, barely surviving while she lived the high life on our parents' remaining money. "Ms. Mitchell is one of the most successful private equity investors in the country," Michael continued, clearly enjoying himself. "Though she prefers to remain, how do you say, under the radar." Jessica was frantically Googling on her phone. Her face went pale. "Oh my God, Amanda. She's on Forbes' list off." "Shall I escort these ladies out?" Michael asked me. "They don't appear to have a reservation." Amanda's face flushed red. "We absolutely have a reservation. Daddy made it months ago." "Ah yes," I finally spoke. "Table 12. Under Hampton Industries corporate account." I turned to Michael. "Please cancel all Hampton Industries reservations at every location. Effective immediately." "What? You can't?" Amanda sputtered. "Hampton Industries signed their consulting contract with my firm last week," I explained calmly. "All their corporate accounts now require my approval." I smiled. "Consider it declined." Michael was already typing on his tablet. "Done, madame. Shall I show you to your private room? The board members will arrive shortly for the acquisition meeting." "Acquisition?" Amanda's voice had risen to a squeak. "Yes," I said, straightening my off-the-rack blazer. "I'm buying the remaining 40% of La Maison d'Or today, along with that little social media marketing company you've been trying to partner with." "What was it called?" "Infinity Influence." Amanda's face went from red to white. She'd been bragging for weeks about her upcoming influencer contract with Infinity. That's my deal. I've been working on that for months. The company is worth more as a tax write-off," I replied. "I'm shutting it down next week." Michael gestured toward the private elevator. "This way, Madame CEO." As I walked away, I heard Jessica whisper to Amanda, "Did you know your sister was worth—" "Don't." Amanda cut her off. "Just don't." The private dining room on the top floor was exactly as I liked it, elegant but understated. Floor-to-ceiling windows offered a spectacular view of the city I partly owned, though none of the buildings had my name on them. I prefer to work in the shadows. My phone buzzed. A text from our mother. Amanda just called in tears. Said something about you ruining her life. What's going on? I typed back, just correcting some misconceptions about success versus appearance. Another buzz. Amanda had posted on Instagram. Some people think money makes them better than everyone else. True class can't be bought. Hashtag authentic life. Hashtag real influencer. Hashtag can't buy class. I smiled and opened my portfolio app. With a few taps, I initiated the purchase of her favorite designer brand's parent company. By tomorrow, I'd own the rights to everything in her closet. Michael returned with the board members, all men who'd once underestimated me the same way Amanda had. Now they stood respectfully as I took my seat at the head of the table. Gentlemen, I said, opening my simple leather portfolio, let's discuss the future of La Maison d'Or. Through the window, I saw Amanda and her friends being escorted to the exit, their protests visible even from 12 stories up. Her Instagram followers would never know that her luxury lifestyle posts were about to feature brands owned by her supposedly struggling sister. My phone buzzed again. A news alert. Mystery CEO acquires major luxury restaurant chain. Industry insiders shocked. I turned off my phone. Let them speculate. I had an empire to run. The meeting lasted 3 hours. By the end, I owned 100% of Le Maison d'Or International, 3 more luxury brands, and the building Amanda's penthouse apartment was in. I made a mental note to have the doorman's uniform changed to something more McDonald's inspired. As I left the restaurant, the valet brought around my car, a modest Honda Civic. Michael looked pained. Madam CEO, please, we can provide you with something more suitable. This is perfect, I assured him. Never let them see you coming, Michael. That's how you win. He nodded thoughtfully. Your sister and her friends have made 17 attempts to get new reservations under different names. Shall I put them on the permanent exclusion list? I said. At all 47 locations. 48, he corrected. Tokyo just finalized. I smiled. 48 then. As I drove home to my deliberately average apartment in my deliberately average car, I thought about Amanda's Instagram post about true class. She'd never understood that real power didn't need to be displayed. My phone buzzed one final time, a notification that Amanda was live on Instagram, ranting about toxic family members and new money showing off. I laughed and turned onto the highway. Tomorrow, I had a meeting with the board of her favorite spa chain. They didn't know it yet, but they were about to get new ownership. Sometimes the best revenge isn't served hot or cold. Sometimes it's served with a side of complete corporate takeover. The morning after the La Maison d'Or acquisition, I sat in my modest home office, watching Amanda's social media meltdown reach new heights. Her latest Instagram story was a masterclass in oblivious privilege. Some people think buying businesses makes them important, but my followers know what real influence looks like. Can't wait to announce my new luxury brand partnerships. Hashtag authentic queen, hashtag unbothered wealth. I smiled and opened my laptop to check the status of my latest acquisitions. The luxury brand partnerships she was hinting at? I bought controlling interest in all of them overnight. Their marketing directors were currently drafting emails to inform Amanda that her partnerships had been declined. My personal assistant, Maria, entered with my morning coffee. Unlike the stereotypical executive assistant, she dressed simply and drove a used Toyota. We shared the same philosophy about staying under the radar. Your sister has tried to make reservations at 8 different premium restaurants this morning, Maria reported. All owned by your subsidiary companies. And all mysteriously fully booked for the next year, whenever she calls. I nodded, scanning through emails. What about the spa situation? Golden Lotus Spa chain is ready for acquisition. Their board meets at noon. Maria's eyes twinkled. Isn't that where Amanda has her weekly wellness sessions that she posts about? The very same. Schedule the meeting. My phone buzzed, a text from our father. Princess, Amanda says you're trying to destroy her career. Your mother's worried. Can we talk? I hadn't spoken to my father in 5 years, not since he laughed at my business plan and gave Amanda my portion of the family money to invest in her influencer career. He called it making a smart bet on the future. I texted back, sure. La Maison d'Or, 1 p.m. Your corporate account still works, for now. The rest of the morning was spent in video calls with my various boards of directors. None of them knew each other. I had intentionally kept my empire fragmented and private. While Amanda posted about building her brand, I'd built a network of holding companies that controlled everything from luxury hotels to designer fashion houses. At 11:55, I joined the Golden Lotus Spa board meeting virtually using only audio. By 12:30, I owned the entire chain. By 12:35, all of Amanda's upcoming appointments were regrettably canceled due to renovations. I arrived at La Maison d'Or 5 minutes before 1, wearing another simple outfit that probably cost less than Amanda's makeup. My father was already there, fidgeting in the lobby in his expensive suit. "Sarah, princess," he started, reaching for a hug. I didn't return. "You look sensible." "Hello, father." Michael appeared instantly. "Madam CEO, your private room is ready. Monsieur Mitchell, please follow me." My father's steps faltered. "CEO." In the private dining room, I sat at the head of the table while my father tried to process the view from the top floor. "I don't understand," he said finally. "You work in. What do you do exactly?" "I buy things, father. Companies specifically, like this restaurant, and the building your office is in, and the private equity firm that manages your retirement fund." He paled. "What? Remember when you gave Amanda my share of the inheritance? $200,000 to invest in her future." He nodded weakly. "I took my business degree and the $10,000 in my savings account and started buying distressed companies, small ones at first, then bigger ones. Always privately, always quietly. I sipped my water. While Amanda was posting about private jets, I was buying the companies that leased them. But your apartment, your car, are deliberately chosen to avoid attention. Real power doesn't need to show off, father. That was always Amanda's mistake. And yours." Michael arrived with lunch, simple salads I'd chosen to make a point. "Your daughter's reservation for her influencer dinner party tonight," my father began. "Cancelled," I confirmed. Along with her spa appointments, her designer clothing partnerships, and her access to pretty much every premium venue in the city. "Sarah, be reasonable. She's your sister." "The sister you bet on," I reminded him. "How's that investment working out?" As if on cue, my phone buzzed with Amanda's latest post. "When toxic people try to crush your dreams but you stay winning. Just booked the ultra-exclusive Jade Emperor Spa for my self-care day. #Unbother Queen, #luxury life." I smiled. The Jade Emperor Spa? Interesting. I turned to Michael. "Please call the manager at Jade Emperor. Let them know their acquisition will be finalized this afternoon." My father put down his fork. "You can't just buy everything." "Actually, I can, and I am." I opened my portfolio app. "Would you like to see what else I own? Maybe the hedge fund that handles your smart investments." He slumped in his chair. "What do you want?" "Nothing. That's the beauty of it. I don't want anything from you or Amanda. I just want you both to understand something. Success isn't measured in Instagram followers or designer labels. Your sister will be devastated. She'll survive, with considerably fewer luxury spa days and exclusive restaurant reservations, but she'll survive." My phone buzzed again. The Jade Emperor Spa acquisition was complete. Right on schedule, Amanda's booking was being regrettably canceled due to unexpected renovations. "You're being cruel," my father said. "No, I'm being instructive. There's a difference." I stood up. "Now, if you'll excuse me, I have several other acquisitions to manage today." "Wait," he grabbed my arm. "At least tell me, how much are you worth now?" I gently removed his hand. "Enough to buy and sell everything Amanda pretends to be 100 times over. But unlike her, I don't need everyone to know it." As I left, I heard him ordering another drink. Michael quietly informed him that his corporate account had just been declined. Back in my office, Maria updated me on the afternoon's developments. Amanda had tried to book 6 more exclusive venues, all of which were mysteriously unavailable. Her attempts to secure new brand partnerships were being systematically declined. Her favorite designer boutiques were suddenly out of stock in her size. "She's getting desperate," Maria noted. Her latest post claimed she's being targeted by jealous haters trying to destroy her luxury lifestyle brand. How many followers has she lost? 12,000 since yesterday. Apparently, her fans are questioning why an authentic luxury influencer suddenly can't access any luxury venues. I nodded, reviewing the next acquisition target, the exclusive gym where Amanda filmed her weekly wellness journey videos. Should I proceed with Operation Workout? Maria asked, eyes twinkling. Schedule the board meeting. Let's see how authentic her journey becomes when she has to exercise with regular people. My phone buzzed one final time that day, a group text from Mom. Family dinner this Sunday, non-negotiable. We need to talk about this situation. Amanda replied instantly. Only if it's somewhere exclusive. I have a reputation to maintain. I smiled and typed. Don't worry about the venue. I'll handle it. Little did they know, Sunday dinner would be at the most exclusive place in town. The private rooftop restaurant I just acquired, where Amanda's multiple attempts to get a reservation had been denied for years. Sometimes the best lessons about authentic success are taught one acquisition at a time. The week leading up to the family dinner was a masterclass in watching Amanda's carefully curated world unravel. Her social media presence, once filled with exclusive venues and luxury experiences, had devolved into poorly disguised damage control. Sometimes the universe makes you step back and appreciate simpler things. #authentic, #growth, #self-care, she posted, alongside a photo of herself pretending to enjoy coffee at a regular cafe after being turned away from her usual luxury breakfast spot. Maria delivered my morning briefing with barely concealed amusement. Your sister tried to book the presidential suite at the Augustus Hotel for a recovery staycation after her social media detox. The Augustus? Interesting timing. I sipped my coffee. Complete the acquisition by noon. Already in progress. Also, she's been frantically calling every luxury PR firm in the city, all of which are owned by your subsidiary companies. Yes. They're all mysteriously at capacity with clients. My phone buzzed. A text from Mom. Sarah, honey, about Sunday dinner. Amanda's having a hard time with her career right now. Maybe we could do something less provocative. I replied, don't worry. I've booked the Summit. The Summit was the most exclusive restaurant in the city, occupying the top floor of a building I'd acquired 3 years ago. Amanda had been trying to get in since it opened, desperately wanting to post about dining there. Her repeated failures to secure a reservation had been a constant source of complaint at family gatherings. What she didn't know was that I bought it specifically because she wanted it so badly. The responses came quickly. Amanda, the Summit? That's impossible. They're booked years in advance. Dad, Princess, please don't play games. Mom, are you sure about this, honey? I sent a simple response. 7 p.m. Don't be late. That afternoon, I reviewed the security footage from various venues as Amanda attempted to maintain her influencer facade. She'd been turned away from 6 luxury boutiques, 3 high-end restaurants, and her favorite designer spa. Each rejection was followed by an increasingly desperate social media post about choosing to explore authentic alternatives. Her follower count had dropped by another 20,000. Maria entered with an update. The Augustus Hotel acquisition is complete. Your sister's suite reservation has been unfortunately canceled due to unexpected VIP bookings. Her response: a live Instagram rant about industry conspiracies and targeted harassment. She's losing sponsors. I nodded, reviewing the latest numbers. Amanda's influencer empire was crumbling exactly as planned. Without access to luxury venues and designer partnerships, her carefully constructed image was falling apart. Sunday arrived with a series of increasingly panicked texts from Amanda. The Summit's front desk says they have no record of our reservation. Sarah, this isn't funny. My followers are expecting content from the Summit. Sarah answered me. At 6:55 p.m., I arrived at the Summit in another deliberately modest outfit. The staff, who knew exactly who signed their paychecks, treated me with subtle deference. Amanda, Dad, and Mom were arguing with the maitre d' in the lobby. But my sister stayed, Amanda was saying. Good evening, I interrupted. The maitre d' immediately straightened. Madam CEO, your private dining room is ready. Amanda's jaw dropped. Dad's face went pale. Mom just looked confused. CEO, she asked. Follow me, I said simply. The private dining room offered spectacular city views. As we sat, Amanda was already filming with her phone. Finally made it into the summit. Your girl has arrived. Hashtag exclusive access, hashtag luxury dining, hashtag blessed. No social media, I said quietly. You can't tell me. Actually, I can. Because I own this restaurant, and the building, and the company that processes your influencer payments. Amanda's phone lowered slowly. What? I own quite a lot of things, sister dear, including most of the venues and brands you've been desperately trying to access this week. Dad shifted uncomfortably. Sarah, about what happened at La Maison d'Or. This isn't about that. I cut him off. This is about authenticity. Amanda's favorite word lately. What do you mean? Mom asked. I opened my laptop displaying Amanda's social media analytics. Your followers are leaving because they've realized something isn't adding up. The luxury lifestyle expert suddenly can't access any luxury venues. The fashion insider can't get into designer boutiques. The elite influencer is posting from regular cafes while claiming it's by choice. You're destroying my career. Amanda burst out. No, I'm exposing it. There's a difference. The first course arrived, simple but exquisitely prepared dishes that cost more than Amanda's monthly car payment. Why are you doing this? Mom asked. Because success isn't about appearances. While Amanda was building a facade, I was building an empire. Real success doesn't need constant validation from strangers on the internet. Says the person who owns half the city but drives a Honda. Amanda snapped. Exactly. I don't need people to know I'm successful. I just am. Dad cleared his throat. Princess, maybe we could discuss some kind of arrangement. You mean like when you gave Amanda my inheritance because influencing was a better investment than my business plan? He flinched. Amanda's phone buzzed. Another sponsor dropping her due to inconsistencies in brand positioning. Fine, she said, tears starting. You've made your point. You're successful. You win. Happy now? This isn't about winning. It's about understanding the difference between appearing successful and being successful. I signaled the waiter. Bring the papers. He returned with a folder containing documents for a small but legitimate marketing consultancy firm I'd recently acquired. What's this? Amanda asked. A real job. The company needs a social media director, one who understands both authentic content and luxury branding. The salary is reasonable, the work is legitimate, and yes, I own it. You want me to work for you? I want you to work, period. Build something real instead of just pretending to have built something. Amanda stared at the papers for a long moment. Her phone buzzed again, another sponsor cancellation. Finally, she looked up. The job, does it come with access to the summit? I almost smiled. We'll discuss privileges after you prove you understand what real success looks like. As we finished dinner, Amanda's phone remained untouched, a first in recent memory. Mom looked relieved. Dad looked thoughtful, and I felt satisfied. Not because I'd won, but because sometimes the best way to help someone understand success is to strip away their illusions of it. One condition, Amanda said suddenly. I get to post one photo from the summit. Just one. Please? I considered it. Fine, but the caption has to be honest. She thought for a moment, then typed. Learning some hard truths about success from someone who actually built something real. Time to get authentic for real. Hashtag new beginnings. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. 3 months after the summit dinner, I sat in my office reviewing Amanda's progress reports. Her transformation from influencer to actual businesswoman had been interesting. Day 1 at her new job had been a reality check. No designer outfits. The company had a business casual dress code. No luxury lunch spots. The office had a perfectly good cafeteria. And most shockingly, actual work deadlines. Her last Instagram post as a luxury lifestyle influencer had been surprisingly honest. Time for a change. Trading fake glamour for real success. Thanks, sis, for the wake-up call. Hashtag actually authentic. Maria entered with the quarterly reports. Your sister's department has increased engagement by 40%. Turns out she actually understands marketing, and she's poised to do it properly. I nodded, reviewing the numbers. Amanda had thrown herself into learning real social media strategy, not just posting filtered photos of borrowed luxury items. Her team was delivering genuine results for actual clients. My phone buzzed, a text from Dad. Princess, can we talk? About the family trust? Ah, yes, the trust. After seeing my success, he'd been trying to renegotiate the family's financial arrangements. Too late, he'd realized betting everything on Amanda's influencer career hadn't been his wisest move. La Maison d'Or. 3 p.m., I replied. My next meeting was with the board of a luxury hotel chain, one where Amanda had frequently pretended to stay, taking lobby photos while actually living in a modest apartment. Now that I owned it, I had plans for a genuine transformation. Your sister's application for the corporate retreat program arrived, Maria mentioned. She filled it out properly, followed all procedures. No mention of her relationship to you. Approve it, I said. But put her in a standard room, not the suite she requested. Amanda was learning, but old habits died hard. At La Maison d'Or, Dad looked older than I remembered. Success, I'd learned, could age people in two ways: the weight of maintaining it or the regret of missing it. The trust fund, he began without preamble. I'd like to restructure it. You mean now that Amanda's influencer empire has collapsed? He flinched. I made a mistake. I see that now. Several mistakes, I corrected, starting with underestimating me. Sarah, please, I'm trying to make things right. I opened my laptop, showing him the trust's current value, far less than my smallest subsidiary company. The money doesn't matter anymore to Dad. What matters is the lesson. Amanda's learning it. Are you? He stared at the numbers. How much are you really worth? Enough to buy the trust 10 times over without noticing. But that's not the point. Then what is? Understanding that real success isn't inherited or posted on Instagram. It's built, day by day, deal by deal. My phone buzzed, an update from Amanda's supervisor. She's really getting it. Asked to start in client services to understand the business from the ground up. I smiled. Finally. Here's what's going to happen. I told Dad. The trust stays as it is. Amanda keeps her job, earning her success for once. And you? Yes. You start coming to board meetings, not to participate, just to observe, to see what real business looks like. He nodded slowly. And your mother? She misses you. Mom gets what she always wanted, regular family dinners. At normal restaurants where we talk about real things instead of pretending to be something we're not. Later that evening, I received an email from Amanda. Sis, I get it now, really get it. Today a client thanked me for helping their business grow, and it felt better than any number of likes or follows. Also, can we talk about my 5-year career plan? No shortcuts this time, I promise. I forwarded it to Maria with a note. Schedule her for breakfast. The office cafeteria, not the summit. My empire had grown even larger, but that wasn't the real victory. The real win was watching Amanda's latest social media post, a simple photo of her team celebrating their first major client success, with the caption, "Building something real, no filters needed. #actual success." Mom texted, "Family dinner this weekend." Amanda suggested that little Italian place near her office. I replied, perfect. The restaurant wasn't exclusive. The food wouldn't photograph well for Instagram, but for the first time in years, none of that mattered. Because sometimes success isn't about who owns the restaurant. Sometimes it's about who you share the table with. And sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all. It's watching someone finally understand the difference between appearing successful and truly being successful. Maria, I called out before leaving the office. How many properties do we own now? She smiled. Enough to impress anyone. But you still want to drive the Honda home, don't you? Of course. Success whispers, Maria. It doesn't need to shout. And somewhere in the city, Amanda was learning that lesson. One authentic post at a time.